We're here at the Kyneton outdoor fitness equipment and I'm Tracy and this is Kim and we're going to take you through a beginner's program today that you could do down here. So it's suited to people who haven't done exercise for a long time and want to get back into it, and it's based on doing a bit of strength and a bit of mobility work. So to get started we need to do a warm-up, and that's just a nice gentle stroll along this beautiful river for about 10 minutes and then we'll get back into the exercises on the equipment. Sit to stand. So Kim's going to sit on the bench in our beginner program and use her hands to come down onto the bench to do that quite safely and standing back up. So up to 10 of those for the beginner program, and just taking your time. And if you want to advance that, she'll bring her hands to cross in front and just go a little bit slowly on the way down to find that bench and then rise up, pushing through your heels. Wall press for the beginners program. So stepping across the plate at the bottom to bring your hands onto the grips, and we're doing a wall press by leaning into the bar and then pressing back out. And you will notice that Kim's doing that quite slowly. She's trying to keep this nice straight line in her body, and that's very important. So up to 10 of that exercise. If that's feeling okay, we're going to step a little bit further away and still maintain this strength, and that's through tightening through the tummy area. Royal leg press. Okay, so this exercise is optional for the program and requires you to climb into this machine, so please hold on. If it's not for you, that's okay, we can skip this one. We're doing plenty of leg work. We need to get our feet into the plates as best as possible and make sure our bottom's sitting right back, so our back's supported in the machine. And very slowly and carefully press away from the plates and return slowly as well. And Kim's making sure she doesn't lock out our knee, it's slightly bent each time. So we're looking for about 10 of these repetitions. Nice and gentle, fantastic. Finger walk. This exercise is great for mobility in your finger joints, and as we crawl our fingers up any of the vertical poles here, you're starting to open up the shoulder joint. So just go up as high as is comfortable. And if you can, you're even reaching up even higher up onto your toes. And then slowly walk your fingers back down. We're starting around about and ending around about 90 degrees at the elbow. So you're only doing about 5 on each side. Great for the shoulder joint. Optional extra of the shoulder rotation on this wheel. So using one arm on one of the handles, we're going to just face and slowly rotate the wheel around, trying not to move the body too much and keeping a nice steady pace. And returning the other way. So probably up to 5 on each arm, both directions. And that's really great for our shoulder cuff, our rotator cuff. Fantastic, nice and smooth. Hip exercises. So just holding on to a pole for a bit of stability, and we're going to be raising the leg to the side, just comfortably at comfortable height, and then back to the ground, and the same leg then raises behind. So you're working the hip muscles, so returning it, so out to the side for a couple of seconds, back in, and then out to the back a couple of seconds. About 10 repetitions, and Kim's keeping nice posture while she's doing it, very tall, trying not to lean forward too much. We want the hip muscles to do the work. Fantastic. Lat pull down. So we're going to grab the grips in this machine before we sit down and just make sure we're feeling comfortable, our back's aligned, nice and tall, and we're just drawing the machine towards you. It will lift your feet off the ground, which is fine, and you're looking to do that slowly and smoothly. Return very slowly. About 10 repetitions of this exercise. Rock the boat. So this exercise, we're straddling the plate on this machine and holding the grips and rocking from one foot to the other. And even though it's called rock the boat, we're actually holding that position for quite a long time. Count to 10, maybe even to 20 to hold that balanced position, and then step onto the other foot and hold. An optional extra is to move that leg back and forward while you're balancing. Excellent. So when we swap over, also start to notice how much you're gripping, and if you can ease that a little bit so that all the weight is coming onto that one leg, that will be a great exercise. Fantastic. Our stretching after doing all the exercises is very important. It just helps release the muscles, give them that flexibility that we're after, as well as our strength. So this stretch is for the hip flexor, the front of the hip. And Kim's just going to step slightly forward and a little bit of a lunge. And the main thing is actually her under tilting her pelvis, so like her tailbone's going under. And we'll be feeling it in the front of this thigh. So you don't have to go too far forward. It's really the under tuck and feeling that stretch. Holding that for up to 20 seconds, and then we'll swap to the other side. So again, it's just a step forward, and rather than a big deep lunge, it's just the under tilting. Kim's shoulders are above her hips, and that's getting a really good stretch. Hamstrings are the back of the thighs, so we're just going to stretch that out with a nice straight leg. Kim's resting on her bent leg there and just pushing the chest a little bit forward. And this time the tailbone tips back out. So you're sticking your tailbone out, toe up, activates those muscles in that long position. So 20 seconds, and then changing to the other leg. Now, if you need to, while you're doing it, you're a little unstable, you can be holding a pole, but still getting that nice lean forward, toe up stretch. Terrific. Shoulder stretch. So we're going to bring any vertical pole that you can find, the hand in about 90 degrees, so maybe a little higher on there, yeah, elbows on there. And we're stretching open the chest here with just a tiny rotation away from the fixed arm. About 20-second hold to feel that. If it's a bit much, ease off. It's very tiny movement. Excellent. And so that's very much the chest. And if we take Kim away from there with a straight arm and she starts to pull around, she'll be pulling a little bit more into the shoulder joint. So that's our next stretch as well. And holding that for about 20 seconds. Once you've done that, swap to the other side. Terrific. The next stretch will be our back stretch. So across your shoulders, and we're going to bring our hands forward, and we're going into like a hunched position, the head just dropped down, and Kim's stretching really across these shoulder blades area, and it should feel really nice. Pull the tummy in to support you, count to 20, and that's a stretch done. The last thing we need to do is stretch the sides and between the ribs. So we're going to take a hand to the ear, or if you're okay behind the head, that's good as well, and lift the elbow towards the sky, because we're outside. And in this position, Kim's going to take a very big deep breath, and that opens the ribs. So it's not just the side, it's the ribs as well. She'll release the breath and do one more big breath, and then go. Other side as well. So you're holding for about 20 seconds altogether. The big breath to open the ribs while you're in that position. Fantastic, and that's your stretches. Enjoy the day.